Thank you for your support, channel member Matt L. Hello cricket fans, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. The IPL has started and I'm here to provide you with my, well, I was going to use the word expert, but an opinion as to who I think is going to go on and win the 2025 IPL. If you're new around here, please subscribe. That's quite helpful. If you'd like the video, that would be massively helpful too. And if you're feeling really combative and communicative, then let me know who you think is going to win the IPL. But I've made a tier list, I've got all the logos ready, I've got some notes, I've done my homework as well. So without further ado, let's go alphabetical and let's start with Chennai Super Kings. So Chennai, okay, their most expensive players in their squad, we've got Gaikwad and we've got Jadeja, both just over 2 crore. The best pick, in my opinion, for the auction for CSK was Rachin Ravindra. And the surprise pick that could actually go really well if he can rediscover some of that form is Sam Curran for just, well, 0.3 crore. So a bit of a bargain there, I think. Pros for Chennai, what are they? Well, they've got some pretty good spinners, haven't they? We know that Chennai is a bit of a dusty, spinning kind of cricket pitch to play on. Jadeja, Ravichandran Ashwin, and the overseas cricketer of Noor Ahmed. I think for all three, fantastic and clearly going to be a huge, huge impact at home, at least anyway. They've got some players that are obviously going to be able to play away from home as well, but those three in home in particular, fantastic. And of course, the aforementioned Rachin Ravindra, possibly the hottest prospect, the hottest property in world cricket right now. Multi-format cricketer, just utterly, utterly fantastic at whatever he turns his hand to. This time it's going to be the IPL with CSK, and I don't see how he's not going to do really well in this either. Any cons? Well, the only con that I can really see with CSK is, and it's been kind of an elephant in the room for ages, but is Mahendra Singh Dhoni finally too old to play cricket? I mean, we won't know until we get going, but it kind of feels like a question that we've been asking for probably the last 5 years. But he's the only, I guess, what you'd call out-and-out wicket-keeper in that squad. There is Devon Conway, and he has kept in the past for New Zealand, but he's not what you'd say. That wouldn't be his strongest suit, whereas Dhoni, one of the best glovers in the world. But if it is a tournament too far, CSK have got a bit of a hole to fill there. And if they have to then pick Devon Conway, that then maybe upsets the balance of how they want to pick their overseas players. So it's going to be challenging. But other than that, they've got I think anyway, an absolutely fantastic squad. And for that, I'm not going to have them winning, but I'm going to put them in there at B for CSK. The Delhi Capitals are next. Akshar Patel, their most expensive pick in their team, 2 crore for the Indian all-rounder. Best pick for the auction just last year, I think. KL Rahul, 1.7 crore, in incredible form for India during the Champions Trophy. So much experience. Surprise pick, just 0.2 crore, Faf du Plessis, and particularly where Harry Brook has obviously pulled out of the IPL. Pros, 2 quality spinners, Kuldeep Yadav, Akshar Patel, both absolute guns, Indian international, both count as domestic players. Don't affect any of their overseas spots. So good. They've both got so much IPL experience as well. And a whole load of experience, speaking of which, we've obviously got Faf du Plessis and KL Rahul with the bat. They look pretty good, I think, Delhi. There is a bit of an issue, though, and I don't know, some people might disagree with me here, but the fact that Harry Brook has pulled out, I think is a bit of a concern. And the fact that Delhi had kind of, well, I felt anyway, could kind of look to build that team around Harry Brook in the middle order. He would have been one of their overseas players that would have played. Obviously pulled out, and I think now he's banned until 2028 or something. That could be difficult. The other thing as well is the pace attack. Maybe a little bit light on the pace attack. They're not quite as prolific and efficient as what they once were. No longer are they regular contenders for BCCI international spots. But yeah, the Delhi Capitals, they're a pretty good kind of team, I think. I don't think they're going to go particularly well, though. I think they're going to go in at C. Just maybe. Just don't fancy them, really. Gujarat Titans, next up. Most expensive pick, Rashid Khan, 2.1 crore. Josh Buttler, the best pick in my opinion, 1.9 crore, obviously leaving Rajasthan Royals. And a surprise pick, Glenn Phillips, just 0.2 crore. And I wonder if he'd have been that cheap if they'd have had the Champions Trophy just before the auction. Pros for the Gujarat Titans, probably the best top 3 in the competition. Shubman Gill Jos Buttler and Sai Sudarsin. All three incredible cricketers. Sudarsin at the start of his career, Buttler obviously so experienced, one of the best white ball cricketers in the world, and Shubman Gill just class on grass, isn't he? And a mad bowling attack as well. It's slightly challenging to fit all of their overseas in, I think, but Rashid Khan, Mohammad Siraj and Kagiso Rabada will undoubtedly kind of lead their bowling attack for the Gujarat Titans. I think they do genuinely look so good. Have they got any cons though? Maybe. Maybe they're missing a middle order batter. There is only one overseas spot to fill, assuming that Buttler, Rashid Khan and Kagiso Rabada are all fit and in form. Who gets that other overseas spot? Is it Glenn Phillips? Is it one of the other players that they've got or not? I don't necessarily know, but I think it's a pretty good team. I think they've got a good chance. I'm going to put them in there with CSK in at B. KKR, or the old boys, really, I think is probably what they're known for. Venkatesh Iyer, 2.8 crore in the draft. I mean, that's mental money. The best pick, I think, for them, Ramanullah Gurbaz. What did he go for? 0.2 crore. Incredible talent, Afghanistan international, top order batter. And a surprise pick, maybe Umran Malik, just if he can kind of refine some of that form that we've seen in the past. What else have they got? They've got so much experience. I mean, Andre Russell, Sunil Narayan, Moeen Ali, Quinton de Kock, 4 overseas players that have been there. They've done it. They've pretty much won everything that you could possibly wish to win in every T20 franchise or World League or World Cup that you could ever possibly wish to imagine exists. So much experience there. They've also got the Indian kind of front-line spinner, Varun Chakravarti, who obviously we all watched dominate in the Champions Trophy, and he is an absolute jet of a cricketer. Cons. What are their cons? Well, other than the fact that they spent nearly 3 crore on Venkatesh Iyer, which is ridiculous. Also, their captain, Ajinkya Rahane, he's been given the armband for the Kolkata Knight Riders, and I'm not even convinced he makes their best 11. That, I think, is a serious concern that KKR have got to try and figure out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they... It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, they've got the experience. I don't even know if Rahane is going to play the entire competition. Maybe they're going to have to find another captain. It feels like that's a very Rahane thing to do. C for KKR. Lucknow Super Giants, most expensive from the draft. Rishabh Pant, the most expensive player in IPL history, 3.2 crore. David Miller, I've got him as their best pick, 0.9 crore. And a bit of a surprise, Shamar Joseph, 0.1 crore. I think they had him on a right to retain or something, but a bit of a bargain if he is fit. Have they got the best batting lineup in the IPL? Rishabh Pant as captain, David Miller as a finisher, Nicholas Pooran at the top order as well. I mean, they've got to be, Rishabh Pant, Nicholas Pooran have got to be 2 of the most explosive wicketkeeper batters in world cricket to be in a top order. Imagine if they had Quinton de Kock and Jos Buttler in there as well. But that's quite mental. That's very good, and I quite like that about Lucknow. Is there a con? Well, Mitch Marsh, I think, is likely to miss the start of the IPL. Does that affect their ability to be able to balance that side? Maybe. The other thing as well that I think they've got a slight issue with is the fact that their spin attack is slightly inexperienced. Not much international quality there. They obviously didn't really go overseas-wise for it, and that could be an issue, particularly if the pitches are a little bit suspect to turn over in India, which they tend to be. Anyway, I'm going to put them in at B. I think they look pretty good. Mumbai Indians. I mean, they're always there, aren't they, really? The most expensive player that they've got in their lineup is Jasprit Bumrah, 2.1 crore. I think there's a rumour that he might miss the start of the IPL as well. Best pick, reunited with Trent Boult, 1.5 crore. He keeps getting older, obviously, but one of the few people in world cricket that can really kind of swing that white ball. Surprise pick, another one of these players that has the ability to swing that white ball is Reece Topley, just 0.1 crore, left armour, English, tall. Never really has any luck with injuries, so I don't ever really know if anybody has ever seen the best of Reece Topley, but I think he's fantastic, and I think he'd be a great backup to Trent Boult if there was an injury there. Could they play both of them together? Potentially. There is a chance because I don't think Mumbai need to play 4 overseas players in this team. They are that stacked with talent. They've got 3 of the 3 main disciplines. 3 of the 4 main disciplines anyway. As a batter, an all-rounder and a bowler, the Mumbai Indians possess basically 3 of India's best, don't they? They've got Rohit Sharma with the bat, they've got Hardik Pandya as the all-rounder, and then they've got Jasprit Bumrah with the ball. They've got every situation covered. They are just a quality outfit. And I don't even think it's a con, but as I said just a moment ago, they are in a position that they possibly will only play 3 overseas, so they will have that 4th spot available, but I don't think they're going to need to use it. But with that in mind, Mumbai go in A because, no, you know what? Actually, screw it, I'm changing it. I think Mumbai are going to win the thing. There you go, hot take, done, it's in. Next up, Punjab Kings. Punjab Kings, Shreyas Iyer, 3.2 crore in the draft. He's in some good form as well. Best pick, Yuzvendra Chahal, 2.1 crore. He's picked up so many wickets in the IPL. And surprise pick, Glenn Maxwell, only went for half a crore. Could it be the year that Punjab Kings actually kind of make it through the group stage? It could be, and I mean, that is basically the only con I could really find about this side, is the fact that they're just not very good as a club. I think that could be an issue. That could be a concern. You never know, but actually they have got an incredible team, genuinely incredible team, and they've picked up some players during an IPL auction that weren't necessarily in form, but have now got themselves into form. Shreyas Iyer, Josh Inglis, Azmatullah Amarzai, Glenn Maxwell, we know how good he can be, and Yuzvendra Chahal, the leg spinner. He's got over 200 IPL wickets. It's going to be really close, I think. Punjab, I think, are going to be challenging for the title, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's a Mumbai versus Punjab final in the IPL this year. So with that in mind, Punjab, I'm going to put them in at A because I think they've done really well. Speaking of teams that have done really well, we won't talk about the Rajasthan Royals because, well, I don't think that team looks particularly good. Their most expensive player in their squad is Yashavi Jaiswal, 2.1 crore. Best pick, it's a bit of a stretch, but Mahesh Thikshana, I think he could be really exciting. And the surprise pick is obviously the 13-year-old whose name I'm undoubtedly going to not be able to pronounce, but Vaibhav Suryanavashi, just 0.1 crore. There was a bit of a bidding war on him, which was quite interesting. So clearly there's something interesting about this 13-year-old lad. But, I mean, is he going to play? What a wild situation that could genuinely be, that a 13-year-old walks out the bat in the IPL 2025 for the Rajasthan Royals. And maybe if their tournament is as bad as what maybe I'm thinking, maybe they do just give them a go. I don't know. They've got Rahul Dravid as coach, and he knows a lot about cricket, so that's a positive for the Rajasthan Royals. They've obviously got some stability there with Jaiswal and Sanju Samson. They've been at the Royals for a long time, and Samson, I think, is, if you look past those kind of top-level BCCI international cricketers, which Samson has had a couple of caps lately, probably going to be one of the best Indian domestic players that you can have in the IPL. He's just churns, runs out. He's got a few hundreds, I think, in the IPL too. Plus, Jofl Archer's fit as well, which he hasn't been for a while, and that's quite exciting for everybody. So, yeah, Jofra could be good for the Rajasthan Royals. Cons. Well, they've lost Josh Buttler. I mentioned earlier he's moved teams. They've got no seam bowling all-rounder in that setup. They've got no frontline domestic spinner, and they've got no real backup for Jofl Archer either. So, I'm not really sure what they were playing at during that, but with that in mind, I can't put Rajasthan Royals anywhere other than in the bottom because I just don't think they're going to go very well. 2 teams left. RCB, Royal Challengers Bengaluru. The most expensive player, which won't come as any surprise for RCB, is Virat Kohli at 2.5 crore on his permanent contract, I think. Best pick for me, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, taking him away from Sunrisers Hyderabad, 1.3 crore. And the surprise pick, Krunal Pandya, 0.7 crore. Pros. What's good about RCB this year? Well, have they fixed their bowling problems? I think they might have done, you know. They've got Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, they've got Josh Hazlewood with the seam bowling attack, and that I think is really exciting. They're 2 of the best bowlers. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as well. Again, one of those guys that can swing the new white ball about. Not many people can do that. Josh Hazlewood is just so good. And of course, they've got Virat Kohli. So if they win the toss and bowl first each week, then Virat Kohli will finish 63 not out every week and they'll win every game. Cons, well, other than the fact that RCP can't win anything, and that I think is a bit of a concern. They don't have any stars on their jersey yet. They might do this year, you never know. They kind of seem to get closer and then never really get any closer. So, but I think they look pretty good, and I'm going to put them up there with Punjab in at A. Sunrisers Hyderabad. Whew, wow. Well, I mean, if they get going, you could be chasing 260 against this team because this team is ridiculous. Heinrich Klaasen, the most expensive player in the squad, 2.7 crore. Best pick, which is really cheap, and I'm not even convinced he's going to play, is Adam Zampa, 0.3 crore. And a surprise pick, maybe is Bryden Cass at 0.1 crore. I picked him really because, I mean, he's taken like a duck to water. Might not be the best analogy for cricket, but in every bit that he's played, he's had such a good start to his international career with England. Could he take it forward with the IPL? I think he probably could. What are their pros? What's good about them? Well, as I said, they've got one of the most explosive top orders in world cricket. It almost feels, I don't understand how it's actually kind of been able to be put together, but it is an utterly ridiculous lineup of the top four. Mohammad Shami as well leads the bowling attack, and we saw how good he was in the Champions Trophy for India. I think he just gets better and better and better every time he steps on grass. Every time he gets a day older, he's just a better cricketer than what he was. Cons, well, their lead spinner is Rahul Chahar, which, I mean, isn't the greatest Indian spinner of all time. He's played a lot of IPL cricket and he's got a fairly good record, but the issue would be is if Adam Zampa has to play because Rahul Chahar's not in form, which could happen, and Adam Zampa is quality, let's be honest, that then does affect their ability to have that such a powerful top four, top five batting lineup with Heinrich Klaasen, Travis Head, so on and so forth. So with that in mind, I'm going to put them in at B with those other teams. So based on my logic, and thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done, let me know who you think is going to win the IPL this year, but I think it's going to be Mumbai Indians, and I'll see you soon.